Hi everybody, let's play an instructive rapid chess game. Let's start with e4, playing Lane McQueen, I think, from Germany. Okay, so e4, e5, knight of 3. I'm going to play the Italian opening. Plays the two knights defense. Now I can play knight g5, but that leads to a lot of complicated theory, so I'm going to keep it simple with d3. Bishop c5 is theory, and I play c3. This is pretty well known, controlling the center. We might play a4 or castle. I'm going to castle. No, I'm going to play a4 actually. The secret threat of trapping the bishop now. He sees it, plays a6, and now I'm going to castle. Okay, he castles as well. And now I'm going to play h3 because sometimes if I move my rook out, there's this knight g4 move which would hit the pawn. So it's good to prevent that. He plays bishop to a7, and I think rook e1 here makes a lot of sense. So he's trying to maneuver his knight to g6. So I know that here I can also do the same thing, or I can also play d4 and get a pretty nice center here. Question is, if I play this right now, there might be some tactics where they sacrifice their knight and then play d5, and it's really, really complicated, where I would lose my central control. So I think I'm going to play bishop b3 here, just prepare b4, d4 at some other point in the game. Yeah, now I'll play d4. So now takes d5. I can play e5 and hit the knight. It's a pretty high level game so far. My opponent is pretty high rated. c6. Okay. Now I think I should rotate my knight. The knight's coming to f1 and g3. Interesting position, very complicated. Queen c7 makes sense. I think I'll keep following my plan, putting my knight g3. Plays bishop e6. So I could technically trade the bishops if I want to, or I could ignore that and play knight g3. That's a tough decision. If I take, I can also double his pawns. It's a very tough decision. It's hard to decide if it's worth it. I think I'm going to go ahead and take that and then play. I don't have to take necessarily. I'm just going to keep improving my pieces. So this pawn could be a problem in the future. And in general, it kind of worsens black's pawn structure, although the advantage is so tiny here. Okay, takes. Now we have a pretty nice center. Really tense position. So I think our pawn structure is definitely better. Black plays e5. This creates a huge weakness. So it's important to see the changes that happen when your opponent makes some moves. So I'm just seeing if I can check and do some damage with knight g5, or if I should play knight g5 first. Something like that. Looks kind of enticing, but I know that it leaves everything vulnerable in my position too. So queen b3 checking h8, knight g5. I don't really trust that because even after knight e6, there's queen f7. It just doesn't look like it's worth. d3 is a normal move. I think I should play the normal move, challenging this bishop and developing my last minor piece. And you can see how h3 is very useful here. So I'll keep this in the tank for the future. So we have 7 minutes each. I think it's important to talk about or think about opponent's plans here. So what is his plan here? Let's also calculate all these tactical moves. So ed4 doesn't concern me. d5 doesn't really concern me. Rook e8 is a decent move, but I have some discard attacks. So it's hard to find a good move for black. Maybe h6 or king h8 is a good idea. Okay, he doesn't really deal with that. Rook e8 is not bad. Okay, should I check and still play knight g5? That's tempting. That is very tempting. Okay, I'm going to throw in this check. Although he does have queen f7. Takes. It's not really clear if I'm getting anything from that. I could also take here first. Might be better to take there first. Okay, I'm gonna take this first and see how he responds. So now some tactics. I really want to do this move so that his rook gets misplaced on a7. trying to gather every single advantage that I can squeeze out of this position. Okay, so I'm definitely going to take that. Okay, so the a5 is a good positional move, which gives me a good advantage or slight advantage, but I really want to go for more here. So I think I got something here. Check. If he plays queen f7, I think I have queen b6 and then knight g5, and then I reset and come back into b3. That is very interesting. He could really fall for this because it's a very crucial tempo to play queen b6 and knight g5 in one go. Wow, that's actually really interesting. And what if he doesn't play queen f7? He goes king h8, knight g5, h6, knight f7, king h7 doesn't really go anywhere. So after king h8, I can decide to either play quietly with something like a5. He does play king h8, so now I have to decide. It's a critical moment here because I might have a big advantage. So knight g5, h6, what do we have? Knight f7, king h7, maybe rook d1, and then just trying to play in the center. It's really interesting, but it seems like I'm just trying to attack thin air. I'm going to jump here. I like this. Preparing this. Eyeballing d6. b5 I can maybe take, but I can take with this pawn, and I have a lot of piece attack activity, so that's must be worth something. It's a really critical moment here. We had to really calculate everything. So what can black possibly play here? So b5, I think I had to think about this move more than anything else. So he plays b5, and then I could take. He takes with the c pawn. Then I can attack the queen with rook c1. Then there's a lot of fork ideas. I really like that. I really, really like that idea. And instead of b5, what else can you do? Also, after b5, there's also ab5. And for ab5, I was considering rook takes a7, queen a7. Oh, he played neither. Okay, knight there. So knight g5 is possible. What's his idea for knight g5? Because this looks dangerous. Still h6. Could also just develop my rook here. This feels better than everything else because just knight d6 is the same as knight g5. But I really like bringing the last piece in the game. Also have to watch out for tactics because this is the only piece for black that's in my territory. So it's important to watch out for that. Okay, so I feel like he's going to crack now. So knight d6. Winning a pawn. Or more. Okay, guys, this is it. This is it. We're going for the kill now. This pawn is hanging too. I think he forgot about that. Yep. The dam is breaking. Now I have two knights, queen in the attack. Now I'm looking for tactics to finish off the opponent. Like a smothered mate even, right? Would that be really cool if I have a smothered mate? Oh my goodness. So unfortunately, I don't have smothered mate because the rook and the queen are protecting, but if I could disrupt something, so like rook, knight f7 check, and then rook d7. Oh my gosh. That'd be crazy if I had that. Okay, unfortunately, he prevents everything, but okay. I want to get this square. g3, knight h3, king g2. There's also knight f7, e5. Ooh, that's really cool, e5. And queen c2 check. It's very good. It's very good. Okay, let's do that. g3 was interesting, but I think that practically speaking, this is better. We have a nice pawn, and it can be pushed even further. We have checks. I just saw some other tactics to queen c2, and then rook takes d5. If this knight wasn't there, would be great. So I think I can combine everything now. Check. He's going to go g6. Now either e6 or g3. g3, rook f7 is complicated though. So maybe e6 is the better move here. Protecting my knight. I think I'm threatening to play g3 now. Among other things, I think. Black doesn't really have that many plans. Queen e7 might be a move. Just a decent move. Then I gotta decide how do I improve from there. How do I improve from the rook e4? Putting pressure on the knight. Queen d2 then. Rook e4 looks correct. Really like this move a lot because it strengthens everything, pressures this, makes this immobile. I just realized I didn't look at this pawn, but I mean, okay, I can double, but I should have calculated this a bit more. I'd like to think I calculated that subconsciously. All right. Yeah, he played it all right. So we double. We should be good. Yeah. So I really should have thought about that a bit more. I know I have something here. This move looks very good. He finds that too. And this move. Wait, do I have what I think I have? Okay, hold on. Rook f7 and rook f3. I think that's winning. Alright, we gotta do it. Because rook f7 here, knight f4, I think I'll take the rook and then I take this with this. So, can't really do that. This will make sense. I like 95 for some reason. Why do I like 95? He's not threatening anything. You know what? h4 makes a lot of sense. I feel like I'm losing a little bit of control. He has knight d4, which I didn't really think about too much. I have this and then check. Yeah, he needs to go there. I think I take with the rook. Okay, still threatening mate. That was pretty clutch. Wow, fork mate. Whew, that was an intense game. Very fun game. Definitely was doing really well and then lost a little control. Let's analyze that. That's worth analyzing for sure. What score did I get? 92% accuracy. Okay.